Look at that. Simon with Convoy. He's the man. He wound up sending out this 5000K as he promised he would. He made an error, like I told you in the review of the comparison of this T8 with the lumen top. I wound up telling you that he didn't send the 5000K. No problem. He sent it out. There it is. 5000K SFT25R. We'll compare them tonight. I'll show you how they look. Show you how I feel. They are pretty similar in the throw. I don't feel like you lose much candela. I really don't. I wound up putting this stone washed clip on this one so that way I can recognize it's the 5000K. But as soon as you turn it on, you know, like you just know. But without turning it on, I can tell which is which. This is the other light that I promised I would show you. Remember, I was charging up a giant battery, that big 21700 battery in the X-Tar charger. I told you that I had a big light coming out. Well, this is it. It's the M21B by Convoy, and he wound up putting this LHP73B in it. I went with the 5000K. It's got a buck driver and 20 amp buck driver. And the other crazy thing about this is go check out the link in the description. There's actually a warning on this light. Like, it legit has a burn hazard listed on the website. That's how crazy bright this thing is. It gets crazy hot. We're gonna do a little bit of shining around with this thing once it gets dark, so that way y'all can see just how powerful it is. It's not really going to be a comparison against the T8. I just want to show you how cool it is. I mean, it's a cool, for what I can carry in my pocket right here, that's a lot of light. And I mean, it's a big light, but it really does ride in the pocket pretty comfortably. Let's go over the user interface on this thing. So it comes up in memory mode. Whatever I was in last, it'll come on. You can turn that off, but I prefer it. We're going to go ahead and go all the way through. Strobe alert, get the little bike light out of the way, and then the battery check. It'll flash out how many times. See, I've been using it already, so we're already back at 3. We got to charge this battery up. The lowest setting, this is really cool. Check this out. So this light, this Convoy light, is a lot different than some of the others. Some of the others have what I just showed you, where it'll do the strobe, it'll do the bike, where it's the steady light with the flash, and then the battery check, and then it only has 4 levels. Well, this one has 5 levels, so we have a sub-lumen level right there. Look at that, and I'll show you what that looks like at night or in the dark too. But that's really cool. I really appreciate that it has that level right there, because with a super blinding light, you can also bring it out and have this to where you can just, you know, save your night vision, do a little reading, whatever you need to do. All right, so next level is going to be 10%, and then you get 30%, 50%, and then there's turbo, there's 100, it's pretty hot on the hand, and then back to strobe. So I always leave it about right there. That's about where I want it, and that way when I retrieve it out, I'm at a good starting point, and I can just kind of go from there. That's what I've been doing with it. I enjoy these clips. They're comfortable. They're pretty deep carry. You don't have a clip sliding around all over the place. I like the fixed carry. Let's get it out in the dark and show you what's going on. We'll compare those two T8s first, and then we'll show you what this one looks like. Here we are at night. Crickets are out, flashlights are out. Just in case you can't tell, the 5000K is on the left and the 6000 is on the right. And I've been playing with these two like before I started filming, and I really can't tell a difference in the amount of throw. Like, there might be some charts somewhere showing it and some special equipment, that can show the difference between the two, but all I can tell between these two is the Kelvin, the tint. Like there's 6,000 right there in the middle, and then 5,000. So I really am happy to achieve what I was going for here, to have a somewhat neutral thrower. I mean, some people would consider like 4,000K to be a neutral thrower, but I like the 5,000. It's it's different. It's different enough to where when I bring it out, there's strobe alert for you. There's the bike mode, battery check, and then lowest setting. So it's different enough to where I'm happy. That's what I was wanting. I was wanting something different. And as you can see, that's what we wound up getting. I'm pretty stoked. So that was the first level where I was just at. Here's second level. There's 3. Let's get on out there, show you how they do. And then again, last mode. Both of them just reaching in there just the same, doing a great job. Good deal. Alright, now I'm going to keep the 5,000 going, and I'm going to show you all what this M21B looks like. Okay. Looks like we were on the second level, now we're on third. That's fourth. We're still not on the highest setting. I'm going to put that T8 down there on the left, M21B on the right, which is a lot more flood. You got throw from the T8, flood from the M21B, and then we'll go to the very highest one. On that M21B, it's just a ton of light. I mean, it's almost blinding if I bring it down low, Timmy. That's cool. Just a weird comparison, I agree, because you got a tiny little light on my left here and a huge M21B on the right, and it is getting hot. You don't want to run this thing with gloves on. You definitely want to know how warm that thing is getting. The T8's just hanging in there like no problem. Let's bring it down a little bit and show you all that hot spot. So the M21B, I mean, it's just a ton of flood. It really is. Like you can see the hot spot from the T8 in it even. It's just a really bright light. But yeah, back to the warning. Don't run this M21B with gloves on in the winter or something, because that thing, I don't know the limit, but I'm thinking you could seriously do some damage to it and not know it. I'm going to have bare hands so I know what's going on. Now I just want to do some early morning trail walking. Just show you what this M21B can handle. Because it's got a lot of potential on something like this right here. Check that out. So we're on the third level. I like the sublumen. I can't really show you on this trail what the sublumen looks like because it doesn't really get anything done. But on the third level, we're not going to be using a lot of battery. You have a lot of light. Like you are well lit on a trail, walking around, seeing everything that you need to see. We'll go over here where we can get a little bit of distance. And I'll step it up some more so we don't get blinded. We'll go ahead and go to the fourth level. Look how that's reaching on down. with some distance. And there's the last one. Really just reaching through there. That is a ton of light. Very impressive. Last but not least, that's the sublumen level. Check that out. That is nice. That is really cool to have that option on such a powerful light, because now, you know, you can do some reading, not disturb people. Very cool. I really like that you have that. I'd love to have that sublumen option like on the little T8, and I even have a little T3 now, but it only has the 4 levels. This M21B with the 5th level is a game changer, so just wanted to show that to you. Alright, cool. Well, if y'all have any questions, comments, drop them down there and I'll reply. Thanks for watching.